Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is in session. The court is in session with 3 dockets. Announcement docket, the pre-trial conference docket, and the trial docket. First case we're calling. It's on our pre-trial conference docket. So we have 2 cases. Cause numbers M332930 and cause number M332932. Both cases are Styles of State of Texas versus Hayden Anderson and Hayden Sanders. Mr. Sanders, would you please come forward? Mr. Sanders, your full name is Hayden Sanders? Yes, sir. How are you doing, Mr. Sanders? You doing good? That's good. Mr. Sanders, you representing your case by your attorney, James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
It's Monday morning.
And the state is represented by attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Macon, Mr. Sanders' cases are on the pretrial conference docket. What is your announcement?
He's going to be a plea today as soon as I get a cabinet comment.
Okay. All right. I'll just hold on it.
Thank you.
We'll call you back up. Oleva. Yeah, Olvera.
Yes, he's in apartment. He has a fever.
Okay.
Kelly just checked in.
Who is he represented by?
Kelly.
This case is not here. Oh. Right. Mr. Robot,
Yes, sir.
you have 2 cases on the announcement docket. Tracy Lee Steele. See a note here, case was reset for you to provide proof that the defendant is in rehab.
I just talked to her. She's supposedly on her way up here. Put me on the back of the docket. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we'll put it on hold.
Okay. And then I've got one. Good.
I don't see him on the dot. I don't know. No. I don't see your name on the docket. He said, what was it say? Good. What's the first name? Mr. Alvaro, would you please put your mic on mute?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is it Gaudeaux?
Is it Anthony?
I'll be here anyway.
Okay, let's Yeah, they gave him his reset.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin Jamal Jones, cause number 23 CCCR 1278. Mr. Jones, your full name is Justin Jamal Jones.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Jones?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Jones, I see here that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you hired your attorney?
No, sir. I was gonna ask you, could you give me one more opportunity because, my financial situation has gotten a little better, and I can afford an attorney now. I don't want to be appointed an attorney.
Okay, how much time do you need to hire your attorney?
What's the minimum on the reset?
He's on page
They say.
7 of the announcement docket
Okay.
at the bottom. You've had since November 14th of 2023.
Yes, sir.
That's 5 months. So
My situation wasn't in the situation is in it now, that I just got out of jail and I wasn't working. But I did want to still give me a turn. I was looking for a job and stuff, and I finally found me a decent job that I can afford when I'm
have you talked to some attorneys?
not yet.
Well, how did you know you couldn't afford one? Because attorneys don't have the same prices.
Believe I can afford one.
Okay, we're gonna give you 30 days. Okay, that's enough time? Okay, what about 45 days? It's a month and a half.
I think I can make it happen within the time.
Okay. Okay, so they're gonna reset your case for what are they she's gonna reset your case. Give us a reset date for him to hire.
It'll be June 3rd,
Okay,
because we have a holiday.
okay, so that'll be June 3rd, 2024. And this will be last reset to hire. Okay, okay. You can
He could bring money.
stand right in front of the coordinator. Once you get reset, you're free to go and you have a blessing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. John Edward Toops. Oh, that's Marcus Wilkerson's client. Yeah, I had him as being here. That's his attorney talking to him. You could get that tablet, Mr. Macon.
Yeah, just one question.
Right there.
Okay. The person that's on Zoom that has Samsung SM-S9, would you please take your mic off of mute and state your name?
Stevie Campbell,
Okay, Mr. Campbell, you can put your mic back on mute. Thank you.
thank you.
Calls numbers M 331-295 and calls number M 331-297. Both cases are styled State of Texas versus Karen Beauchamp. Ms. Beauchamp, would you please come forward? Ms. Beauchamp, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Beauchamp, your case is set for trial. I get actually you to number 1 and 2 cases. And you are pro se.
Yes, sir.
State, what's your announcement?
State's ready.
Okay, state is announced and ready for trial. Ms. Beauchamp, what is your announcement?
We're ready.
Okay, now, Ms. Beauchamp, we pick a jury on tomorrow at 1:30 in this case. And the court, normally when somebody is pro se, representing himself, I usually appoint a standby attorney. A standby attorney is an attorney who is appointed to assist you. If you have any questions, you can ask the attorney questions. Attorney is not representing, they're not trying the case for you. You are representing yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're trying to, we should be able to appoint an attorney today. I've already talked to 2 attorneys. One is unavailable. The other one has a possibility that they may be able, but we probably won't know that until this afternoon. But in the meantime, we will appoint a standby attorney to stand by if you need any assistance.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
So at this time, the case is set to pick a jury at 1:30 on, the jury's come at 1:30. Now, I would advise you to come a little earlier than that, so that we can, you can set things up and meet the standby attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're free to go. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, yes, sir.
All right. And you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
That we hadn't, Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause numbers 23 CCCR 0083, cause number 23 CCCR 0084. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tracy Lee Steele. Ms. Steele, would you please come forward? And Mr. Hubert? Okay, court is in session in cause numbers 23 CCCR 0083 and cause number 23 CCCR 0084. Both cases are styled in the state of Texas versus Tracy Lee Steele. Ms. Steele, is that your full name? How are you doing, Ms. Steele? You doing fine? Ms. Steele, you're represented in your cases by your attorney Tom Roebuck. Attorney Roebuck, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Roebuck, what is your announcement in the Steele's cases?
Well, announced at the last docket that it was my understanding she was in rehab,
Mhm.
extended rehab, not just 30 days. Obviously, she's not.
Okay,
So I don't know what her plan.
Yeah.
okay, so the case is on the court's announcement docket, so you still need more time
Yes,
to
sir.
prepare? Okay, so hold on a minute. What we're gonna do, how much time do you need?
Judge, the other case, the companion felony case is set 90 days down the road. I kind of like to keep them together.
Oh, there's another case?
Yes, sir. Got a felony.
Oh, okay, okay. The court coordinator is gonna check on the felony. We'll keep the cases together. This is on the announcement docket. Steele is the last name. It's gonna take a few minutes for her to check it on the system. Okay. Okay, the felony is on July 15th. So we're gonna reset these cases to the same day, July 15th, 2024. Mr. Roebuck, you can get your resets. On these cases, once you get your reset, Ms. Steele, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay.
Thank you, Darrell.
You're welcome. Yes,
So you got some news?
congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our new attorney, Ms. Haley Simmons. She just passed the bar exam. Good. Congratulations. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in clause number 23 CCCR 099. Excuse me, clause number 23 CCCR 0922. Case is styled State of Texas versus Darrell George Falcon. Mr. Falcon, would you please come forward with your attorney? Who's the prosecutor? Okay. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 0922. Case is styled State of Texas versus Darrell George Falcon. Mr. Falcon, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Falcon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Falcon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Falcon, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Falcon?
It's fine.
That's good. Mr. Falcon, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Mr. Falcon's case?
So wait.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
Good, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Falcon, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Falcon, it alleges that you, Darrell George Falcon, on or about May 13th of 2023, that you did while operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of DWI. Well, DWI with it Class A misdemeanor. The state, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
We are.
Now, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, and what that basically means, Mr. Falcon, instead of being charged with a Class A DWI, you're being charged with a lower offense, which is a Class B DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about May 13th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County operating a motor vehicle in a public place, how did you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest?
They're guilty, Your
Now,
Honor.
now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Falcon, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box says, the person that's on Zoom that has, please put your mic on mute. Thank you. Okay, now the second box that's checked states that you were waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? I also have another document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, you.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Sure.
Mr. Falcon, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand
Yes,
everything that Mr. Reynolds went over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Falcon, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection to stage one.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised and counseled Mr. Falcon. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Falcon, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Okay, Mr. Falcon, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state is offered 1 year deferred, $500 fine, 60 hours of community service.
1 year deferred. Okay,
$500 fine, 60 hours of community service, court costs, interlock, DWI education.
okay, $500 fine, for cost 60 hours of community service. Yeah, you need to put it in a lot. You didn't, it wasn't marked on the tab.
It should have been. For the court.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Do we know his co-cross?
So it's 392.
Okay. Mr. Falcon, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay a standard fine of $500. You'll be required to pay court costs $392. You'll also be required to pay probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $173. Oh, let me back up. Are you appointed in this case?
I'm not appointed, just got hired.
Okay, yeah, so you'll be required to pay $173 each month. Will you be able to pay the $173 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a drug education class. You'll be required to have an alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Mr. Falcon, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Falcon, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Falcon, this will conclude your case. Mr. Falcon, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, you have his paperwork. Okay, Mr. Falcon, just have a seat, wait for your name to be called. Once your name is called, you're gonna come back up before the court coordinator. Gonna follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Reynolds, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Miss, this is court is in session and calls number M331902. Case is style of state of Texas versus Armando Alvaro. Mr. Alvaro is present on Zoom.
That's right, Judge.
Mr. Alvaro, how are you doing?
Good, Judge.
That's good. Now, Mr. Alvaro, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly, who is present in court. Mr. Kelly, how are you doing?
Judge, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Kelly, what is your announcement in Mr. Alvaro's case?
Your Honor, we were reset off the trial docket in Judge Stevens' court next door to, give me 1 second, I have the date.
Okay. This is on page 3 of the announcement document, the last case.
Judge, our case in Judge Stevens' court was reset to June 3rd.
June 3rd?
If Your Honor wouldn't mind resetting.
Okay, we'll reset this case to June 3rd. Mr. Kelly, you can get your reset. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Mr. Alvaro, your attorney, Mr. Kelly is going to get your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Your misdemeanor case is also set on the same day of your felony case. And you do the same thing that you did today. That is, come to this court, check in, and then go to the felony court. Once you're finished there, you'll come back here and check in. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
You too.
welcome.
Have a good week.
Mr. Matuska, you ready on any of your cases? Jefferson County Court of Law in session and cause number M328797. Case is style of State of Texas versus Stephen B. Como. Uh-oh. I'm having problems on the Odyssey. I think it's just went out on the connection with the server was reset, error loading. Same thing to you? Our system just went down on it. Ah. Soon as I clicked. Wait up, it's back up. Mine is. Yeah. Yeah, it's back up. I need to get back into it. That's on the announcement. This is Como. Stephen B. Como. I'll see how they go. Oh, here we go. Mr. Como, how are you doing?
No, fine, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Mr. Como, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Ron Matuska. Yeah, Mr. Matuska, how are you doing?
Good morning.
Morning. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement?
Oh, yeah.
Reset it. Okay, we resetting Stephen Como for trial. Mr. Como, your attorney is going to get your reset, your trial date. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, it's fine.
All right. You can just have a seat. Next case is cause number M331630. Case is style of State of Texas versus Daniel De La Fuente. Mr. De La Fuente, your full name is Daniel De La Fuente.
What's that?
How are you doing, Mr. De La Fuente?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. De La Fuente, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Ron Matuska. Attorney Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. De La Fuente's case?
Oh, yeah.
Reset it for trial? Okay. Okay, Mr. De La Fuente, your case has been reset from trial, your attorney will get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat. And Mr. Matuska, is only two cases? Okay, you're free to go as well. Once you get your reset, and you have a blessed day. We have anybody else ready? Davis County Court of Illinois is back in session in two cases. Cause number 23 CCCR 1744 and cause number 23 CCCR 2291. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Don Henry Vega. Vega, would you please come forward with your attorney?
It's Mr. Vega.
Hold on, let's get a prosecutor.
Yeah,
Mr. Vega, your full name is Don Henry Vega.
yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Vega?
So,
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Vega, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
Mr. Hall, what is your announcement in Mr. Vega's cases?
Well, Mr. Vega has, as you know, you reset it a couple of times because he had a terrible accident and he had multiple surgeries. Uh, He's back now working and we've discussed his case a little bit this morning. We'd asked for one last reset. On the next one, we'll dispose of it at that time.
Okay, hold on a minute. These, hold on. Announcement jackets, hold on a minute.
And I talked to Mr. Hubel. I know it's your case, but he relayed your plea bargain offer to me.
Okay.
And we may discuss it a little more.
Okay. Now, Mr. Vega, your case is, give us a reset date.
Round 17.
Mr. Vega, your cases will be reset to June 17, 2024. Your attorney will be given copies of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. And Mr. Vega, we are happy to see that you've had a speedy recovery from the accident that you had, and we just pray that you continue to gain full strength that you had prior to the accident. Okay, so your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sanders. Sanders, okay. What document is? One is a dismissal, okay. That's all we're on document. Jefferson County Court, Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. They are cause numbers M332930 and cause number M332932. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Hayden Sanders. Mr. Sanders, is that your full name, Hayden Sanders?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sanders, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Sanders, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, you may put your hand down. Mr. Sanders, you're representing your case by your attorney. Your attorney, James Macon. Mr. Macon, do you waive a record in Mr. Sanders' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Sanders, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Sanders, I have before me, let's see, we have an amended information. Yes, got a little show. Let me get to it. Okay, Mr. Sanders, I have before me an amended information in this case that alleges that you, Hayden Sanders, on or about July 7th of 2022, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence. Mr. Sanders, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Sanders, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
He pleads no contest, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading no, somebody yelling sign this here. And are you, the date? And, are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor. Oops. Okay, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. This document was, this document is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Sanders, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set is your attorney initials, and next to your attorney initials, another set of initials. Are these your initials
Yes, Your Honor.
next to your attorney initials? And I also have before me on page 3 of the same document, a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line? It's titled Defendant. Mr. Sanders, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Macon, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Macon went over with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Sanders, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stay off for states one.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you've advised and counseled Mr. Sanders. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, your attorney, Mr. Macon has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt statement. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for a plea of no contest, the state has offered 1 year deferred with $1,000 fine, 80 hours community service, and participation in the Virus Intervention Prevention Program. And as part of this plea, the state will be dismissing cause number M332930.
Court costs in this case? Isn't there a fee? Yes. That's 100? And you said the court cost is 292. Mr. Sanders, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. Bless you. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000. You'll also be required to pay court costs of $292. You'll be required to pay $100 to a family violence center. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $210 a month. Will you be able to pay the $210 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a matters intervention program. The state will be dismissing cause number M332930. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Sanders, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Sanders, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Sanders, you should have before you a document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess Firearm Ammunition. I'm going to go over this document with you, and it reads as follows. In accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number one, you are, by entry of order or judgment, ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion of burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse and neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, Mr. Sanders, this written admonition that has been handed out to you is for your records. This will conclude your case. Please stand in front of the court coordinator and follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You need to stand here and follow the directions of the bailiff. Just use the word stand. Oh, okay. This is, cause number 23CCCR 1708, case of style of state of Texas versus John Edward Toops. Mr. Toops, is that your full name?
John Edward Allen,
John Edward Allen Toops. How are you doing, Mr. Toops?
pretty good, sir. How you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Hey, Mr. Toops, you're represented in your case by your attorney,
Mhm.
Attorney Marcus Wilkerson. And Mr. Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Wilkerson, what is your announcement in Mr. Toops' case?
Your Honor, we would request just one standard reset. We do not appear to have the video. So we definitely need to be able to go over that before we could entertain whether, making coming to an agreement with the state.
Okay, give us, how much time you need?
Do you know how long it might?
It depends. Can't promise it.
As we give you 60 days.
Yeah.
Now, you have any objections?
No objections, Your
No
Honor.
objections? Okay.
Okay,
Huh?
can I request some different lawyer?
You would have to, somebody would have to file a motion. We don't just you don't just do stuff orally. Okay, once a proper motion is before the court will have a hearing on it. Okay,
Yes,
so at this time, case is set for June 17th.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, June 17th, 2024. Mr. Wilkerson, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Toops, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Jared Mayo. That was another,
Yes, Judge. Give me just a second.
okay. He has,
32.
Jefferson County Court at Law Number 2 is back in session and cause number cause number M331294. Case is styled in state of Texas versus Jared Devereaux Mayo. Mr. Mayo was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Jared Mayo at the courthouse door. Jared Mayo did not answer. Jared Mayo has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 10:44 a.m. on today's date of April 15th of 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jared Devereaux Mayo at the courthouse door, or Jared Mayo? Jared Mills' name was just called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Jared Mills did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Mills an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
State moves from bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Jared Mills' bond will be forfeited. Warrant should be issued for his arrest and cause number M331294. And Mr. Wilkerson, that was your last case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, Richie. Jose Mendoza.
Child fam. He took care of his felony. He's in our custody.
Jose Mendoza, is that your client?
Yes, we're ready.
You too.
Okay, because they had Peter Doyle on it.
Mr. Mendoza, you want to come forward?
No, I'm looking on the docket sheet, it says Peter Doyle. Was there-
There's two of those. This is on the docket.
Jose?
Humberto.
Oh, this Jose Luis Cardenas. So you're looking at Jose Humberto? Why the names are not back to back?
It's not the same person.
No, I'm saying, but it's
Oh, I can.
usually, back to back. Alphabetical. Let me see, Mr. Paget.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this case is cause number 23 CCCR 0867. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Jose Humberto Mendoza Jr. Mr. Mendoza, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mendoza, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Mendoza, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Mendoza, you may put your hand down. Mr. Mendoza, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Bless your honor, thank you.
Mr. Paget, do you waive a record in Mr. Mendoza's case?
Yes, your honor.
Mr. Mendoza. Let's see. That's pretty true. What was that? Okay, Mr. Mendoza. I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Mendoza, it alleges that you, Jose Humberto Mendoza Jr., on or about April 1st of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest, detention. Mr. Mendoza, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
To this charge, Mr. Mendoza, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mendoza, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked, no contendere, which means no contest.
Yes.
Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there is one box checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
You had a trial court certification discovery. I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mendoza, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Mendoza, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
They offer states one.
Any
No
objections?
objections to stage 1, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. The court will also take judicial notice of the court's file. Mr. Paget, you have advised and counseled Mr. Mendoza. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mendoza, your attorney, Mr. Paget, have advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mendoza, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
For a plea of guilty or no contest, the state has offered 90 days probate over 1 year with a $500 fine and 60 hours community service.
What is the court costing, Mr. Mendoza?
277.
He's gonna figure it out. And it'll be printed out for you. He's just gonna ask you, will be able to think you had an answer.
Yes. Mine just went down.
Again, if you want to get it done early.
Yes, sir.
You know you do.
Mr. Mendoza,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $500, plus court costs of $277. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a year analysis fee of $15 a month, and reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $154 a month. Will you be able to pay the $154 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Mendoza, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mendoza, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Mendoza, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of the court coordinator file and follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay. Okay, this is cause number 23 CC Sierra 2426. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jorge Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you completely.
Okay, this is cause number 23 CC Sierra 2426. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jorge Rodriguez. This is one of the cases that was,
It's going to be dismissed.
yeah, I have the dismissal before me. And I'm
Do I
going,
have to sign anything?
no, state, you dismissing the case?
We are.
Okay, I'm signing the dismissal, Mr. Boudreaux. Once I sign this dismissal, you can get a copy and you'll be free to go. Should get it in about 1 or 2 minutes. I just signed it. You could just wait for the,
Judge,
To be
I've got
printed off?
2 or 3 more.
okay? Okay, Rodriguez was just dismissed. Hold on a minute. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 1674. Case is style of State of Texas versus Jean Pierre. Jean Pierre was scheduled for trial on today's date. April 15th, 2024. We don't have no, it wasn't continued, right?
I thought today's the 15th, I think it was that today's day.
Yeah, it's set today
Uh,
for trial.
the problem is that I talked to him on Saturday. He said he sent me he got his doctor's letter saying that he was probably going to have some more surgery. And he said he sent it to me, but I haven't got it or I can't find it. I told him to be available by phone.
Okay, if he sent it to you, he either sent it email or fax, so he should have an original copy. Right?
Yes, sir.
He didn't mail it to you.
One, but could the court have?
Yeah, I mean, he could appear but like I said, his case is set for trial. He's need to be in person.
Well, he's not here. He's still
I understand
in
that. I understand that.
But what I was going to ask the court, my secretary is out sick today. I won't have her until tomorrow. But if the court were to call, I haven't called, then he could send the report that he's got from his doctor today.
Well, you could go talk to him about that because, I mean, I'm not gonna call him. It's his responsibility to be here. It's not the responsibility of the court to get him here or to call him up, or he has to.
I can get on the phone and call him, but I won't know anything because I can't get the emails.
Okay, he can send it to the court.
I can't get the emails, is what I'm telling you.
I'm not saying here he can send it to you, he can send it to us. He can send it to the court, but they can give you the email number, the fax number, whatever number he needs to send the information to the court.
May I ask,
Yeah,
you get,
yeah,
give me an address?
they'll give you the email address if you don't know it. That's not a problem.
I'll be happy to do that,
Okay.
sir.
All right,
This, and the state has no objections to a reset based on medical excuse if you can.
if he can verify it. Okay. This is cause number 23CCCR 0471. Case is style of state of Texas versus Land Hunter C. Houston. Mr. C. Houston, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. C. Houston?
I'm fine, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. C. Houston, you representing the case by your attorney. Attorney Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
Great today, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Galmore, you're requesting a reset for blood discovery, is that correct?
It'd be breath, but yes, Your Honor.
For breath
If we could
discovery?
have 60 days, that would be enough time, I think, for at least the risk get close.
State, do you have any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
June 17th.
Okay, this case will be reset to June 17th. Mr. Sears, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you're free to go stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, and you have a blessed day.
You as well, Your Honor.
Please stand. Oh, you just have a seat.
Actually, Judge, you did call Mr. Sampson. He's the one online. He's the one on Zoom.
Wait up. Campbell?
I'm sorry, yes, Stephen Campbell. I'm sorry,
Oh.
not Sampson. Stephen Campbell.
Okay.
That's correct. He has one case on the docket, and we've been waiting for another case to be filed for a long time. And-
Unfiled case. I
Yeah,
see it was back in October. We made a note said it was an unfiled case.
yes.
Do we know, is it in this county?
Yes, and it will not be filed.
It won't be filed.
It can't be filed. It's past statute of limitations now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But with that now in mind, I guess I'd like to ask for one more announcement so that we at the state and I can get together.
Okay. Is
And-
that Mr. Campbell?
Yes,
You take-
sir.
Mute, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Campbell, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Galmore, and cause number M333242. And Mr. Galmore, you asking for a reset? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, Judge, we're asking for a regular resetting for another announcement.
Okay.
And I would like to make sure that Mr. Sampson is present in
Campbell.
court next time so that we can hopefully resolve it.
Okay, Mr. Campbell, give us the reset date.
June 17th.
Okay, Mr. Campbell, your case will be reset to June 17th, 2024. On that date, you need to be here in court in person. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. They will be giving notice of your recess. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Likewise. Thank you all.
All right, you have a blessed day.
And then I've got a plea we're signing up right now.
Mr. Mendoza, your case was reset for you to sign pretrial diversion. Is that correct? Do you have a felony case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you get a reset on your felony case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have that reset with you?
She gotta work down this.
Oh, she still has it? Your attorney is not here. We haven't been able to contact him. So your case is going to be reset with your felony case, and what's that date?
May 20th.
May 20th of 2024?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Mendoza, on that particular day, you're gonna have to come to this court first and check in, then go to the felony court. When you finish your felony court, you will come back to this court so that you can tell us what transpired in the felony case.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This morning, I went to the door, they told me, just go to the felony first.
Okay, but I'm telling you to
Yes,
come
sir.
here first and check in, then go to the felony, then come here back in.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll check in with the bailiff when you come here. All right, just have a seat in that chair by the wall. And once the coordinator is finished with your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
David Grove has a case. Person named Takia Coleman.
He's, felony.
Okay, that's David Grove's client. Wife.
He speaks English. Right.
Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. And the cause number M333880. Case of style of state of Texas versus Marcus Ray Vidal. Mr. Vidal, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vidal, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Vidal, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Vidal, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Vidal?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Vidal, you're represented in your case by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm still good, Judge. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, do you waive a record in Mr. Vidal's case?
We do.
Mr. Vidal, I have before me a document that is titled Information. In this information, it alleges that you, Marcus Ray Vidal, on or about January 9th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Vidal, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Vidal, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Galmore?
This one?
Yeah, you just need to check off the Class A that you checked off a Class A and a Class B. You just check off this one.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't erase. That's why.
You can erase on that one.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Vidal, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. In this misdemeanor plea admonishment, which is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1, there's one box that's checked. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page, there's a signature above the line that titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand this statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Vidal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Vidal, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Galmore, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents that Mr. Galmore went over, which is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vidal, are you a citizen of the United States?
The same.
Stay off for stage 1.
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Galmore, you've advised and counseled Mr. Vidal. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Vidal, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vidal, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
For a plea of guilty, the state has offered 90 days probation over 1 year with the fine waived, 60 hours community service, and installation of an interlock device, and DWI steering conditions of probation.
What is the court cost? And then Mr. Bell. Okay, Mr. Vidal. The state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation. Hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Vidal, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $109 a month. Will you be able to pay the $109 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform in 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You'll be required to have an alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Vidal, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vidal, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Vidal, this will conclude your case. Are you ready for it? Just please have a seat, and when the court coordinator is ready, she will call you up before a window. You'll follow the directions of the bailiff, and you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And Mr. Galmore, is this your last case?
It is.
You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed
Thank
day.
you. You too.
You are. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. The cause number M 328-536, case of style of state of Texas versus Stephen Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Gilbert?
Fine.
That's good,
How are
Mr.
you?
Good. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Gilbert. You're represented by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Mr. Gilbert's case?
Your Honor, I'd ask for one, I don't believe this is set for trial.
It's on the
I'd
announcement
ask
document.
for, one time, a short recess. The DA, I don't believe, has a problem with that. There's supposed to be some videos, and I can't, if I've ever gotten them, I don't know where they are, and I don't remember them. So
I think
I'm
it's,
going to get some more video, get a copy of the video.
Did y'all give him
He
copies?
wants to,
He has to get with Karen.
he wants to see them because he doesn't believe that he did anything wrong, and there's.
Okay, that's not a problem. So what time? I mean, what date? Okay, this case will be reset until May 20th of 2024. Mr. Gilbert, your attorney will be given notice of your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Thanks, sir.
All right. And Mr., once you stand over here in front of our court coordinator, she'll give you a reset.
I'm getting ready to try to do one thing, let us see.
Okay, good. Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session. And call number 23CCCR 1364, case of style of state of Texas versus Ty Pham. Ty Pham. Pham, you come stand before the bench. Mr. Pham, your full name is Ty Pham?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pham, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Pham, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pham, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Pham?
Fine, sir.
That's good. Mr. Pham, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, do you waive a record in Mr. Pham's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pham, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet alleges that you, Ty Pham, on or about July 9th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault bodily injury. Mr. Pham, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, sir.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pham, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's
Yes,
titled
sir.
Defendant? Mr. Pham, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Boudreaux went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pham, are you a citizen of the United States?
No, sir.
Okay, let's hold up a minute. And Mr. Pham, what country are you from?
Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Pham, I have a document here. This document is titled English Statement Number 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Vietnam is not a mandatory notification country. This document reads as follows. As a non-US citizen who is being arrested or detained, you may request that we notify your consular officers here in the United States of your situation. You may also communicate with your consular officers. A consular officer may be able to help you obtain legal representation and may contact your family and visit you in detention, among other things. If you want us to notify your consular officers, you can request this notification now or at any time in the future. And the last sentence states, do you want us to notify your consular officer at this time? If yes, you'll circle yes. If no, you'll circle no. And once you finish signing this document, well, you'll print your name and then you'll sign this document, then your attorney can witness it, okay? Now, do you want us to contact or do you not want us to contact the consular office?
Usually I never contact them until I finish all my time and they come to me.
Okay.
What I'm supposed to do.
No, I'm asking you, that's the choice that you have to make. You can talk to your attorney about that and he'll go over it with you. If you need to there or in the conference room, you can meet with your client in the conference room. Okay? The jury room. Mr. Boudreaux.
Sir?
Once you go in the jury room with your client and you can go over that with him.
Okay.
Jefferson County Court of Law is back in session, court is in session. And cause number, which one? Cause number M 3322425. Case of style of state of Texas versus Samuel Hayden Falk. Mr. Falk, would you please come forward? Mr. Falk, your full name is Samuel Hayden Falk?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Falk, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Falk, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Falk, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Falk?
Pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Falk, I have before me a document that is titled Waiver of Jury. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature online that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you sign before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Macy, you're joining in the waiver, is that correct?
Yes,
And state you're also joining in the waiver, is that correct? Okay. Now, did I sign it? Then I have to sign. Okay. State, are you ready to go forward?
We are.
And defense, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
And defense, you're waiving the record
Yes, Your Honor.
in Mr. Falk's case? State, you may read the information.
In the name and authority of the state of Texas, comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents in and to the County Court of Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Samuel Hayden Falk, hereafter styled defendant, heretofore on or about April 23rd, 2022, did then and there unlawfully with intent to place Deborah Falk, hereafter styled the complainant, in fear of imminent serious bodily injury, threatened to commit an offense involving violence to the complainant, namely aggravated assault, at the time of commission of the offense, the defendant and complainant are members of the same family, against the peace and dignity of the state, signed the Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County.
Okay, Mr. Falk, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, no contest.
Not yet.
Okay. State, do you, would you like to make an opening
I'm
statement?
gonna wait.
You waiving opening, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll be waiving as well? Waiving
Your Honor.
opening? Okay, State, you can call your first witness.
State calls Deborah Falk.
Deborah Falk.
Deborah Fall. Deborah Fall. North Mancho.
State, do you have would you like to call your next witness?
State has no further witnesses, however, state would like to make a statement.
You may make your statement.
Okay, the state has spoke to Deborah Falk, and she has made it clear that that is her son, and she is not going to assist in prosecuting this matter. She also was frustrated that it was still on the trial docket. And she's made it abundantly clear that she's not gonna move forward, and she was here earlier today and left. When she found out it was going to move forward with trial, she didn't wanna go forward with trial, she didn't want to do a bench trial, she didn't wanna come as a witness for the jury trial, she left, she just left the building. So state is asking for you to take all that into consideration.
Okay, does the state rest?
The state,
Defense? Your Honor, at this time, defense would move for directed verdict of acquittal.
Okay, the motion will be granted. Mr. Falk, you have been acquitted of these charges. Your attorney is going to be given a judgment of acquittal in a few minutes. You can get a copy of that judgment from your attorney before you leave. You can just go back and have a seat. And Mr. Macy, you can have a seat and the judgment will be ready for you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session in cause number 23CCCR 1364, case of Styles State of Texas versus Ty Pham. Ty Pham is present in court. Ty Pham has been sworn in. Is present with his attorney, Mr. Don Boudreau. Mr. Boudreau has waived the record in Mr. Pham's case. Mr. Pham acknowledged that his signature and initials was on State's Exhibit number 1. He acknowledged that his signature was on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, and he acknowledged that his signature was on the discovery certification. Mr. Pham was given a document that is titled "For all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries." Now, Mr. Pham, this document was read to you. You had an opportunity to go over this document with your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled the signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, and it was witnessed by your attorney, Don Boudreau, is that correct, Mr. Boudreau?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Pham, going back to State's Exhibit number 1, on page 1 of State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment, there is a paragraph at the bottom of this document that is titled citizenship. I'm going to go over this document with you, this paragraph with you. And it reads as follows: if you are not a U.S. citizen or plead guilty of no content right, may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand this sentence or this paragraph? Mr. Boudreau, would you please have Mr. Pham to place his initials next to or below the paragraph that is titled citizenship?
Yes, sir.
This thing keeps falling on. Just like this here. You resetting that guy's case? The gentleman right there. Okay, yes, I did. Before we went into this Now, Mr. Ritchie, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, excuse me, Mr. Pham, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that he went over?
Sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Boudreaux, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise your client as to the consequences of him pleading guilty of no contest by virtue of him not being a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Boudreaux, do you have any objections?
No, sir.
No objections, State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you have advised and counseled Mr. Pham, Ty Pham, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, sir.
Mr. Pham, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Pham, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, the state has offered 90 days to Jefferson County Jail, giving them credit for 90 days, time served, tax return, court costs.
Okay, Mr. Pham, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Pham, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Pham, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Pham, you're gonna stand in front of the court's coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the bailiff directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Two three CCCR 1908, case of style state of Texas versus Mitchell Warner. Mr. Warner was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Mitchell Warner at the courthouse door. Mitchell Warner did not answer. Mitchell Warner has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:41 p.m. on today's date. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Mitchell Warner at the courthouse door?
Warner,
Yes. And Mr. Macy was here on Sebastian Ross. We don't hear.
Mitchell Warner, Mitchell Warner. No response, Your Honor.
Mitchell Warner's name was just called at the courthouse door. Mitchell Warner did not answer. Reasonable time is fast to give Mr. Warner an opportunity to appear in court. He is not appearing in court. State, you have a motion.
St. Louis Revolve, sure.
That motion will be granted. Mitchell Warner's bond will be forfeited and the warrant should be issued for his arrest in cause number 23 CCCR 1908. Next case is cause number M334290. Case of South State of Texas versus Sebastian Colt Ross. Sebastian Ross is scheduled to be in court at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Sebastian Ross at the courthouse door. Sebastian Ross did not answer. Sebastian Ross has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:42 p.m. on today's date of April 15, 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Sebastian Ross at the courthouse door?
Sebastian Ross. Response, Your Honor.
Okay, Sebastian Ross was just called, Sebastian Ross' name was just called again at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Sebastian Ross did not answer. State, do you have a motion?
St. Louis Revolve, sure.
That motion will be granted. Sebastian Ross bond will be forfeited and warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number M334290. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 0682. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Chelsea Raquel Bronton. Chelsea Bronton was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's pretrial conference docket. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Chelsea Bronton at the courthouse door. Chelsea Bronton did not answer. Chelsea Broughton has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 12:44 p.m. on today's date. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Chelsea Broughton at the courthouse door?
Chelsea Bronson. Chelsea Bronson. No response, Your Honor.
Chelsea Broughton's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Chelsea Broughton did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Broughton an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court. State, you have a motion.
St. Louis Revolve, sure.
That motion will be granted. State, Broughton's bond will be forfeited and warrant should be issued for arrest in clause number 23 CCCR 0682. I think this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket, the court's pretrial conference docket, and the court's trial docket. All three dockets scheduled on today's date, April 15, 2024. Court will be in recess. We're doing your swearing in at 2 until 2 o'clock. All right? Well, please have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all excuse.
Off the trial docket,